Milwaukee Bucks have made an announcement saying that they are now listening to trade offers for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Guys, right now, Giannis is currently on his 3-year, 175-year max deal. He is right now 31. He averaged this year 27.6 points per game, lowest since 2018. And really, this year was just a lot of drama. Giannis said he was fully healthy after suffering a calf injury. The Bucks decided to shut him down. And on top of that, boys, there was an interview that Miles Turner had on his podcast with Breonna Stewart, where Miles said, quote, "Guys were late all the time. Doc Rivers, never find anyone. Guys would show up to practice whenever they wanted to. If we were supposed to be on the plane to leave at 2, the plane wouldn't leave till 4:30. Breonna Stewart then asked Miles Turner, "Who's the teammate that's most likely to be late?" Miles Turner, without hesitation, said, "Giannis. He would just show up whenever he wanted to. It just came with the territory." So, for you guys, my first question is, where do you think Giannis should go? Should he stay in Milwaukee, or should he be traded to another team, and give me a team that you think that he would be the best fit? And then 2, because of this interview, do you think that hurts Giannis's trade stock just a little bit?
He's a bull.
Just right down the street.
Down the street. I just think it's just very, like, initially when everything was coming out with the Milwaukee Bucks situation, us as fans, we don't have any inside knowledge of what's going on there in the organization as to why they're not starting Giannis and just continuing to have him sit despite him being healthy. We have no idea about that. So we're interpreting that as like, oh, what kind of organization is this? This is idiotic. Why are we not getting this guy out there? You know, if they want to have a shot to go to the NBA Finals, go into the playoffs, they should be going and doing that. So it was just, I couldn't understand what was going on. After hearing this news with the interview, that changes my whole perspective. If Giannis is going to be that kind of guy, and it's going to show up late, and Doc Rivers or whoever really needs to be the one responsible for this is not going to show any discipline, just seems kind of insane. Like, I'm not talking about just for Giannis, but the team as a whole, the organization. We need to have more discipline on these guys. If there's things other than, you know, being late to stuff, if there's other things going on, that's something that needs to be figured out for next season. I say all this now, saying that it probably in some fashion does not hurt Giannis. I know we have all the drama, but Giannis is still a great player. And despite him, you know, having his average lowest since 2018, he didn't play a lot this season. So, of course, that's going to happen. But there's going to be a lot of teams that are 100%. If they add Giannis to their roster, that's like the one thing they need to get them over the edge. And so one of my initial favorites, I've talked with our roommate Bryce about this before. I'd love to see him go to New York. I'd love him to be a part of the Knicks, personally.
Actually, really funny you say that, because I would see that. I could foresee that being a potential landing spot there in New York.
I think at the very least you need to keep him in the East. The West is already stacked. The East is in pain right now. They need to keep some big players in the East. It's getting more and more crazy out in the West. So I at least think that Giannis's destination should be somewhere in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I think I do believe that this actually lowers his value. I think a good example I'm going to give is a guy like Antonio Brown. And I'm not saying Giannis is as bad as Antonio Brown. I want to preface that. But when you have a guy who insinuates locker room drama, creates problems outside of basketball, or in Antonio Brown's case, football, right? You create a culture that not a lot of guys want to be a part of. You know, some guy, you know, and there are some guys out there that would just that, hey, we're winning basketball games, I don't care. You're gonna get those guys, right? There are also a lot of players that in my opinion, that probably at some point will get tired of the antics. Let's say he does go to the Knicks, right? Is he gonna be okay with a guy like Giannis coming in? Hey, I'm the superstar now. Things run around me. I'll show up to the plane when I'm ready, and the plane will leave when I'm ready. That type. Now, again, not saying that maybe he's necessarily doing that. We have to take everything Miles Turner says with a grain of salt. Obviously, we can't just take that as pure black and white. I think that'd be disingenuous. We have to take it with a grain of salt. But like that's just not. It's not good locker room presence. It's not a good locker room presence. Is Jalen Brunson gonna be okay with a guy like that? Like these are guys who have pretty much been leading the Knicks in everything that they've been able to accomplish is Cat and Jalen Brunson. And do they want a guy who's just gonna come in and be all drama? Like me personally, and I say this as a Warriors fan, which I'm not even gonna get into that. You can call me a bandwagon, whatever you want to do. I don't care. I've been sticking with them when they've been bad. So, I don't want them to. I don't want to see that with the Warriors. Like, if I want to see a guy who's gonna go and help the Warriors win without creating locker room drama, because we already got that with Draymond.
Sure do.
Like, we don't need more of that. Like, I don't know. It depends on what team's value. Is this now a guy is this a guy that's worth 3 firsts, or is he worth a first in 3 seconds because of his locker room issues? That's the question.
I think, again, addressing the drama and kind of touching on the Antonio Brown stuff just a little bit. Like the Raiders, they were in a desperate. They aren't the greatest organization, and we're in a desperate stage. Like, I know this guy has drama. Let's bring him on. Obviously, he didn't even play a single game with the Raiders. Didn't even last like a week there. But there are going to be those NBA teams out there that say, hey, we're in a bad spot right now, and we can probably understand what's going to come with this athlete by having him on our team, but we know this guy statistically is going to make us better. And so that's why I could say his value may not change. I mean, it's not like this has been a long-term thing. This is something that almost sounds like it started this year. And I'm hoping that maybe this drama wouldn't continue, but I still think that Giannis is going to have some great value because there are some teams that 100% that they bring this guy in, it's going to help them out so much. And so as long as he keeps his drama to a minimum, his value is, I think it'll at least remain stagnant.
His contract is about to be up, right?
I believe so. I think it's like he's entering, I think, like the last year of his deal.
So if you think about it, if his contract was about to be up, and if it's like the last year, I mean, whoever he gets dealt to is going to have to pay him a whole new contract.
Right.
And you're looking at
a sign and trade.
That, and you're almost looking at kind of a 1-year rental at that point because of that.
Or a sign and trade, depending if they give him an extension.
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder how that will affect negotiations. Like, I'm not big into the NBA, but I mean, similar to the NFL, like if you're trading a player on last year of a deal, I mean, I know that could probably affect negotiations because, I mean, you can argue that, like, yes, you want all of this, but we have to pay him. We have to give him a whole new contract. So,
yeah. I think the biggest problem with Giannis is really, it's this whole antics situation. Like, yeah, like, he's like, oh, like, if you guys remember, like, back at the trade deadline, like, Giannis was talking about, oh, on to my new chapter, all that stuff. And then, like, he comes to, like, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm like a co-owner now of Kalshi. It's like, what? Like, what? Like, again, he was just stirring up drama, like, trying to get his name in the headlines. It's like, I think really for me, like, I think if you're the Knicks, like, you don't really have the assets to trade him because, mind you, they trade all their picks to get Mikal Bridges onto their team. And like Aiden said, like, do you want to trade a Draymond Green for a Giannis Antetokounmpo? Yes, the talent is, like, going to be greater for Giannis, but it's like the drama is still going to be there because, mind you, too, if you guys don't listen to the Jeff Teague podcast from time to time, Jeff Teague has literally said, like, wherever he goes, he has to have Thanasis on the team as well. Like, so if you're getting Giannis, you have to have Thanasis, and that's a waste of a roster spot if you're that NBA team. So if I'm the Bucks, it's like, one, you want the best trade offer to go into a rebuild and get like good players or good draft picks to go into a rebuild to like revitalize your roster a little bit. I mean, shoot, just take a look at the Phoenix Suns. Like, they traded Kevin Durant away, and they got like Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and a few other players and draft picks, and they became a playoff caliber team when they were supposed to be in a rebuild this year. So I think overall, I think a good landing spot for Giannis would be the Miami Heat, because you definitely know Pat Riley is going to have a zero tolerance policy on the drama. Because mind you, he traded Jimmy Butler too, and like, because he was like, you're way too much of a headache, and he traded Jimmy to the Warriors, and like the Miami Heat, albeit like they haven't been as successful, but like they've still been a fairly competitive team in the NBA. So,
well, and Bam Adebayo going for 83 helps too.
Yep,
I think
rather.
I think a good landing spot for him. Get ready for this.
Oh dear.
Oh gosh.
Not an NBA watcher, but I want to entertain the fans, the viewers. The Orlando Magic.
Yes, I would love Orlando Magic. I would love to watch him every week.
Magic.
I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Because like I said, I'm gonna admit it. I don't watch NBA like that. So, do the Magic need a forward? He's a power forward, correct?
They already have Paolo Banchero,
yeah, that's
so
gonna be the problem tricky there. You know what? I will say, sorry, P, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I will say, if we're gonna go down that route of potential entertainment, what if the Mavericks went after him?
Oh gosh!
Because
with Cooper Flag,
especially post Luka trade, I think now I know he's not there anymore, but what's his name? Why am I blanking?
Are you talking about their GM?
Yeah, that traded. Yes, thank you. Imagine if Nico Harris was still there, and then he went and got Giannis. Now, obviously, he's not. But I genuinely think people would be like, "Oh, Luka who? We got Giannis and Cooper Flag." I don't know if they really have the assets to be able to really go after a guy like that. But
knowing Nico Harrison, he would have traded Cooper Flag to the Bucks for a box of used Kleenexes and really bad toilet paper that like it's like, not soft, it's rough. It's like sandpaper.
Like single ply or whatever it is.
Single ply toilet paper.
Yeah.
My strat is you trade for the younger brother, Thanasis, and then you.
Oh yeah, he mistakes Giannis for Thanasis.
That would be funny.
That would have been hilarious.
No, he's on something though. You trade for Thanasis, and because Thanasis has to be with Giannis goes to. That's brilliant.
And free agency, you don't got to spend nothing.
It's an even trade.
Little off subject here. Just reminds me in fantasy football when somebody drafts B. Robinson, they got Brian Robinson instead of Bijan Robinson.
Yeah. It's a great one.
I love that.